Hello, welcome all. My name is Suman from Uplatz. In the previous sessions, what we discussed about what we entered into case studies, we have been completed all these modules along with your key practice case studies and assessments. Now we entered into case study, practice, cases or practice, materials along with assessment to check our knowledge. Now we completed data cleaning process with the Melbourne housing data. So that's a sort of cleaning techniques we have to utilize. Now already we do have completed as a model where we have been discussed into missing values handling and so many other related components like standardization, normalization. But as a case study oriented, like as a real-time data, if you take it, not like piece by piece, like by activities, task data. We are taking a real of data like real estate data or building and construction kind of data, and how to handle that kind of things for the data set. So this we completed. Now we'll go ahead with the Netflix. This is another industry. Like right now, currently people are very familiar with YouTube, like freely available to, and OTTs are there. Movies are released into OTTs. Entertainment sector, we can say in general, we can say entertainment sector. Or TV shows, like it a media other than print media, we do have electronic media as well. So this kind of industry. Now, what is Netflix? Netflix is generally a larger company across globe. Total, one of the most prominent movies has been released. Released in the sense they will telecast, okay, as per the user recommendation or as per the user preference. So that will be make sense for the company to look into person preferences so that that will be recommended. Again, a similar way, if you are not familiar with Netflix, I would say simple example like YouTube. So we are watching YouTube any like videos like not other than movies like cricket or any or like fun jokes from the movies or any political speeches from the politicians. This we generally go ahead and we look at. But the contest is fine as we have the customer for the YouTube and but they do have multiple customers are there and once they provided a better for the user who needed that content regularly, who watches that content. So that will be make sense for the YouTube. The YouTube is that we can understand Google company's partner or Google company owned company. So they will recommend what sort of we can see the kind of games or something. So how do we know it? I mean, how do they segregate? So they segregated based on the personal preference. For example, I'm logging in and somebody is logging in USA, somebody is logging in some New Zealand. Will that same YouTube open? Same homepage is there, but whatever I can see, homepage is not relevant to the New Zealand person, and not a relevant New Zealand person, not at all it is equal to USA person. So the sense of here is location, location identifier. So in my context, and India located news or what, or India located fun jokes or what, like movies, or India related political what they are telling, like across different states or maybe self so who is their own state. So that will be decided, that will be provided rather than rest of the things. In USA, person who is watching his own interest. Maybe person might be interested in just for games for his kids or something. Now kids will be shown. kids games will be shown, but not other than something. So that is what recommending. So for the recommending a person or maybe customer, he can able to watch again and again, okay, with the free time or with some associated time, he can watch. So that makes sense for the profit for the company, okay, because we know it ads are there, we know it, something like sharing materials and all those things are, and so that will be get profit to the company. Similar context here, OTT, Netflix. So Netflix, we'll just go to Netflix. I'll just provide here the data set so that we might understand. This is the data set which contains what? Show ID. Every show has show ID, whether it is a TV show or movie show. Movie. So here, these are the different perspectives. Some of the movies are there, some of them are not. TV shows are there. Now, title of the movie. So title of the movie, 3% is also title of the movie. 120 is also title of the movie. And here we can see bad boys. So, and here we can see bad guys or something like this. Let's look at some Indian movie. I can see Bodyguard. So it's an Indian movie. Director is Siddiqui and hero is a Salman Khan and Kareena Kapoor, I think. So these are nothing but cast and crew, and this is nothing but director, and this is nothing but not country. So now you can see these two are Indian movies. Okay, so here we can see 1920. Obviously 1920 Indian movie. I'll just go forward here Indian movies so that we can able to understand. 15,000 straight there. Let's go ahead here. These are things. Okay, these are the things. Now the question comes to here is release date, and a rating. Rating is also there. Okay? Duration, sorry, duration is there, rating is there. So rating, their own rating follows. So we can't say oh, no, but duration, how many minutes? Some movies we know it, certain TV shows half an hour. Some movies 2.5 hours, something like that. And the final context indicate description, means short description. Okay? So if you want to find out anything like maybe it will be there or not, I don't know. That's not there. But what we have taken some of the movies related to some values here. At the same time, description, short description. It's not like entire movie, just a description about what is the main theme of the distribution this movie or TV show. Okay, so these are the things we do have. So it's a very easy to understand data, so that person can able to look at and understand. For example, in these cases, some of the things are there. So show ID and movies, and these are the different things. Now, first thing we should understand the data that is important. So it contains show ID, categories, which category, title, or director, cast and crew, and country, release date, and rating, and duration, and type, what type of movie it is. So type of movie indicates, for example, this is a kids related TV show. This is comedies. This is something like drama, documentation. And this is something like uh, so like this, movies are the categories, types, and description. And this is very easy to understand data. But let's go ahead and look at similar kind of stuff for opening this notebook. Okay. So in these cases, I'm taking the data, but before taking why I'm giving this PDF, we just go to PDF. The same movie is a PDF. So in this PDF, it's clearly explained by step process. Okay. So here we can see similar context, show ID and the TV category and title and director. All these things. Now my interest suggestion, I am not just loading the data, nothing else. But after loading whatever on the PDF, so the same thing you can write here. For example, right now I want to look at how many rows, how many columns contains holes. Total we do have 7,789 TV shows and movies has been released. Okay, that's only one issue I want to tell. But before that, if you want to look at, we know it already, other than shape. So first we have to look at the data frame here. So we have to print and df, just print. Then after print df and shape. This is okay, we understood. Let's remove here in the single cell. I want to write it. Oh, print okay. Df dot equal, because it will use non-nulls, null count, and so many. So first we are looking the data type, the table. Then we are looking how many rows. For example, this will give us type of the data file, not file, data type of the object. That would make sense. So here, how many rows and how many columns. In this, it will provide like each individual column type along with non-null count. Okay, each individual column type and a total as well. Total in the sense like how many integers are there, how many strings are there. Total categorically. Say categorically. This one thing. Now, what is the other steps we have to do it? Let's take it a print, and I just want to look at df dot ending post number of dimensions. So it's better to look at here early number of dimensions of the data type. Then we are looking shape. Then we are looking. Then I want to look at df dot just column names. Nothing else, just column names. Okay. Now these are the values. Let's look at so that it will be printed all these things. This per column names. Anyhow, we have been gone through Excels. We have been seeing, but in the pandas also we have to see. I mean, now that is general as a normal as a file open and it's Excel file we do it. But other files definitely we have to look at into Python. So column names also provided. And after this, you just go ahead with print and df dot just the head. Now this is already we know it. So it provides first 5 rows. I just executed. You can see it's giving all these things. So first we got it, these values. Okay. Second, we got it, these values, all these things you can see. Step by step process. And we got this last value. So in the first cases, what we got it, data type. Okay. Let's run it here again. Let's load it here first. Load it here. And just run it. Of course, it is giving not directly in the sense of table, but here we can see it's clearly mentioned values. So this is what ending number of dimensions, and this is what shape, how many rows, how many columns. This is what info. You can see info is giving how many rows, how many columns, how many non-null count, and how many data types. Why I'm giving categorical counts as well. So categorical count is this value. But anyhow, it is everything is object, so that we are getting object. But there is something like date and time or something like integer. something like floating points. So it will be showed side by side. And these are what? So these indicate indexes, okay, column names. And the last, we are looking post by rows, and this is a value total we got. That's very good. Okay. But one more time, we can able to look at just sample data, not only all the values. That sample. And for example, look at any 10 movies. So this 10 movies. So first we got it some rating TV PG and South of Korea country. This is United States country. Just go forward here, and India country. So movie is 313. I'll just look like this. Just 3106. And like this. Just run it and get it into different movies. So this movie is from Germany. Okay. This movie is from India. Okay. You can see this is a one movie like Khoobsurat, Khoobsurat movie, and Ashok Kumar, Rekha, and these are the cast. And this December 2019 release. This is the rate and beyond that. Now that's sample we are looking how the data is required. 10 or 5, it's your wish. So if you want to look at just 5 is also fine. So that in the single page I can able to look at single sample chart we can look at here. Now, okay, we understood the data. Now the question comes to here is, I think this is one question. It's one question you can say. One question you get what? Okay. Can you give me? Can you please provide? Okay. Movies in India. Okay. In India, movies from India, not in India. Let's say from India, you can say, because Netflix is international movie shows website. Movie recommended, but can you please provide me movies from India along with title and director show ID. Show ID not later, but let's understand title and director with show ID like this. For that, what I have to do it first DF LOC because columns are LOC. We know DF dot country. I'm giving India and I'm providing title here along with these are columns. So LOC, I'm just giving here condition, and here I'm giving directly columns, whichever column is I needed. Or you can take cast and okay. Cast. Let's try to understand. Sample I'm getting sample only, sample 5 or 10, whatever. Let's 10 go ahead and print it. Let's run it this value. Control enter and just look at it. I can see we got one movie together for eternity. Okay. And this is something like different values. Okay. So director Sachin Rajbot or something. Now we can look at per this movies is there. Something like this. Seven movie. A lot of people are writing movie. 7 movies. So these are plenty of movies because Netflix is releasing a lot of movies. We can say so this is Berserk. Okay. Now these are the movies. Okay, we are looking, but we are looking couple of movies, right? Couple of movies. But the main concept is here. Not only this values, just to go to open your notebook and what they are looking in a similar manner. Just look at shape. Okay, we understood. Info we got it. This is a question. Is there a duplicate records in this data set? If yes, then remove them. Okay. That is a question. Let's ask it here. Similar question. comment. So for that, first you have to look at duplicate movies in the sense like same movie, show ID, same cast and same event. Now just run it. df dot duplicated dot sum. But first it will show the sum. Just count. Now create it here and just run it. So we got two. Okay, two values of. Now next option is remove it. Next value is remove it, or you just go to here df dot duplicated, just df dot duplicated, and we got true false. Okay. Now the question comes to is okay, true false, or just first thing, and second thing, or you can give it title here. Better to go for the something like title. I'm not going it, but you can change it. So here just a column and make it as a markdown so that it will be look like as a title. And this first, next one is same copy paste. Then I can apply some. Some. So now how to know it the two? So the question comes to here is the same way. So here you can apply df on top of df because it is a series. You can provide without sum like df dot duplicated. You can see. So these are the two movies. Two movies with I think these are not duplicated. We got two, right? Category okay. Provided category okay. Third. Duplicated records. As independent movies, okay. Trailer, okay. Description, that's fine. This one. It's looking into true or false, but we will look at into some way like df dot duplicates. Okay, let's look at into here df dot duplicates. True are only two are there, but let's find it. These two with what if I ask dot value underscore commas, two are only presented. You look at that value, but addition to with that, so what I want to do it here, duplicate remove. Okay, duplicate remove, or let's find it a shape already we know it. Let's together. So if there is a null values in the data set, if we show it to the heat map. Okay, so if there is a null, for example, in my cases, same cases, if I just want to go ahead, we will look at that value. And now if I want to find out, null values, can you show it me along with the count? Okay, nulls are there, but can you show me the count? So for that also we have to ask sum. Okay, so that it will provide summation of total nulls as a count. So here we can see. Okay, let's go ahead. Just keep remember this value. This is heat map, but how to show it this not in the heat map. For this value is duplicated. Stop remaining. You have to provide now to show that values. So just keep remember to just go go ahead. And if there is a duplicate records in this data set, yes, then uh, how can we show as in the table, as in the table, or as in the table itself? So in the table, more specifically data frame, generally Python. Python is the concept. Just to keep on remembering. Now question comes to here is this is okay. Now next comes to here is forward with the null value count and is showing as a count here. First, let's look at into these values, whether they are same or not. Is null dot sum. What we got it? Show ID is a perfectly indicated. Okay, and show ID is a perfectly indicated. And here 2388, I think is this is also same thing. 2388, 718 and 507, almost the same. 507 and 10. So we got the count, but how to look at that count as a heat map? So this is different. We are looking the table. Okay, we are looking the table, but we want to show that values into values into directly into the chart rather than duplicated. Okay. So here I want to provide in the same manner. First heat map and if is down is null and PLT dot show. Same is null, you can take it and write it here. And first is null, then you have to give it into SNS Seaborn. SNS dot heat map. And just filter it here. And you can give it simply PLT dot show. So I think Seaborn we already imported. Just look at back. Seaborn is imported. Okay. Now you can see. Now you can see null is providing, but null is providing into the values. Okay, so into the values. So rather than into the direct chart. For example, in this case, and see rating, some nulls are, but the country has plenty of nulls. Caste has nulls, and mostly director has nulls. But other than if you look at there is no nulls. Here also we can see director have a lot of nulls. Caste has somehow nulls. Country has nulls. Release date has null. But description we don't have any null, and description type duration we don't have null. So that's why it is look like description type null. So thick now color has been filled up totally. So this is the value which we can show in the diagram itself as a simply chart. But the chart is also explaining here clearly, not only just chart, but it is giving here vertically. This also it's giving vertically. Here horizontally it's provided. So that mechanism has been built into Seaborn. Okay. So if the length of string is there, something, vertical is looking better. For example, here directory is there, here release date is there. So that heat map is explains in it better to look at the data and what are the nulls are there. And if I want to look at other values, for say, a movie called House of Cards movie, what is the show ID and who was the director of the movie? For that, what we'll do first title. So we have to filter the title. Okay. Then after you have to give the show title and director. I will get these values. Now change it according to same way. Same way I have done similar contest concept. So in this cases, give it here and give it here, and let's provide it. We got here. Here we are filtering with only one title, along with what title, show ID, and director. Now you can change it. For example, you don't need show ID, just ignore, and a director you can remove it. Okay. Now here we can write it any values. For example, df dot column, just write it here itself so that you can understand. Columns, print it. For example, rating you want to look at. Rating. What I have to give it? Here I want to give it title. Then after rating, simply. And after rating, let's look at into category of the film, whether it is a drama related or something. Now give it here. So here it is filtering. At the same time, it is also giving 4 values. You can see he is the director and this is a rating, and it might be comes into category of TV show. Okay. So similar contest, you just go to in which year highest number of TV shows and movie released. Okay. This indicate what? In which year highest movie number of TV shows and movies released, show in the bar chart. Okay. So for that, what we have to do first, release date we have to pick up, okay, from the PD. So that first we will look at into this values. df dot release date is equal to pd dot date time, because it's a date time related. Date is related to date time. Okay. Then we have to look at the data types here first. Okay. Then we have to group by. First we are converting. This is a conversion because earlier I gave it here. All those are in object format. Okay. So all those are in object format, so that we have to group by. We have to convert first. We have to convert first. Then after this step, next option. Okay, here we can go. Or you can just type it here. G types, so that it will just show data types. Now you can see everything is object, even including release date is also object. Object in the sense string format. It can't understand, year. Okay. So here I'm storing into df dot release date underscore date, and I'm converting storing here into this values. Or I just want to split it here so that we can understand. Let's split it here. Now same df dot types you can write it here. Same copy it here and just execute it here. Now if you look at now, this release date becomes converted to date. Okay. Now let's write here. Here first alongside this value. Okay. The types we got it. df dot release underscore date is equal to pd dot to date format. Okay. This values. String consistent format and format ISO 86. Mix it to the format. Individual, you might use day first alongside this. PD by okay. In this format, like it's looking into August 24 and in this format. Okay. So how to convert these values to date format? Let's say this format is there, and if any value, any column in this format, so how to convert in this format, in the sense like in the object. So how to convert this to date format. Okay, so that's important. Once we convert into this format in pandas, so then we can understand. Let's say, for example, here, okay, release date is this. You can see it's clearly giving an object, okay, object data type, but it contains, March 1st something. In these cases, it might be different objects. We'll look at dtypes, just ask it here. A format we have to give it. What we will do it here, BDY format we have to give it. Let's look at in this format. Let's try it here. At that time, we directly separate, but let's try it here. It's being another. So for this, what I have to do it here, pd dot to underscore date format. Here, take it the df same thing. This value. This value. Okay. And here, format equal to. That's what they are giving. And here, then we have to provide %LB. The %LE. And %Y. Right. Dot format. Okay. I think nulls we didn't check. This data is also contain nulls or something. Using date, okay, no problem. Time data August 4, 2017 does not match with BDY. That clearly means without a date format, it has to be transformed. Actually, this should work. There is something like a leading trailing spaces are there. Okay. So first thing, what we'll do it. So why? Because here in the error here. So we can observe here something is called a space. the spaces. For this, what we'll do, strip the spaces first. First cases, what we'll do it here. Here you can take. Either you can give in this way or in this way. Dot notation also fine. Here, strip, first thing. Okay, so here we missed out it here. This is okay, fine. Str dot split. So it should convert to the str, then strip and store it. And here we mistake equal to some syntax errors. Okay, we are taking that values here and str converted to strip that whatever the leading or trailing spaces. It will only look for the leading and trailing spaces and it will strip that spaces. Now we are taking that value and just errors just queries. So it will be queries the date column to date time format. Or it just ignore date time format. So let's try it here with all these values as well. Value of the sort underscore values. Okay, see, we got it. Okay. So the only thing is what is happening here. Let's look at here again. After this value, just look at into df dot d types. I will d types. But in this case, as you can see, it's converted. Early we don't have that conversion. Early we can see release date in the object format. After this, we are doing some actions. Will be converted to date time, this format. So that's why we have to look at now what I'm happening, what I'm getting here. Go to the release date and pick up that year. Okay, and give it me count. Sort underscore while by default ascent is equal to true, so that we are making it to false. Okay, so now it will be clearly provide 2019. Lot of movies has been released. So you can see 2019 lot of movies has been released. Of course, here directly works maybe, but we have changed some modification, and we are getting the value. Now, what is happening here? Year, a particular year, we are getting counts. Okay, so that's a kind of data understanding and data making. And same thing, you can work with not only group by with just for looking the values, but you have to look at with these values into chart. So here I want to look at into chart. So we are making group by, and we are taking release date, and we are taking just year, and we are looking into chart as a bar chart. Now it will provide bar chart. You can see. So we got 2019 year, lot of movies has released till 2013, but after we do have a less number of movies released in that particular year. As we know it already, like in particular years, some movies will be released more. Okay, so in that cases, definitely that counts will be make sure to help us to understand. To understand at the same time, it will also provide what certain reason will be there to make sure to based on that values it will be make sure to decision for the company, or in that area only, in that season only, in that year only, or in that time period only, why a lot of movies has been released. Okay, it might be, we don't know, but across globe we can see released in the sense like maybe that is summer. Like for example, we can understand our Indian context, so that you can make sure to provide across total. In Indian context, mostly summer vacations, a lot of movies has been released. Okay, why? Because summer, one thing is college and school people, they are for holidays, so definitely they will make sure to understand that values will be having the count. Okay, so that is one aspect we will just understand. So in the similar context, just work for the another data, another kind of insights. Here what? How many movies and TV shows are in the data set? Show it in a bar chart. This is different. Like we are looking not just like only one value, but we are going with values count, value underscore count for category. It will first gives us that values related to what? Related to that values only shows in the value underscore counts. Means we are looking category. At the same time, we are also going with the values, looking in the counts. Not only just for looking the counts as a direct number, but we can also see them in a chart. Similar way, however, we have been worked on. Similar context, we'll just go ahead and understand the data. So in this way, just first look at. So for this, I just want to look at here and make sure to provide count first. So now we can see movie, TV show. There is only two category, but we are getting count. Count. What are the these two category? Movies are more compared with TV shows. Now, same way, let's just go forward and show that in a chart, bar chart. Bar chart or pie chart, you can make it anything. Since this 2410, so it might be mostly pie chart. Underscore is fine. Sorry, this is mistake. I can see they are looking at a bar chart, but we are looking in the pie chart. Now we can see movie shows contains more compared with the TV shows. So that's how we are changing. We are not changing, we are expanding our skill set to different contexts. Now this question is what? How all the movies are made in the year 2020? Okay. What is the question? How all the movies are made in the year 2020? I means we have to know first category and movie then release date, then extract year. Anyhow, we converted to date and extract year, and we are looking that values into count. Now just look at here. Now let's try it here. We got almost 1313. So here we got 1312 something. But in 2020 we got these values. Okay. Movie released in what 2020 we are looking. Just 2021. Okay. So these are the, if you want to provide even with some names, you can print it. For example, here what we will do it here, then printed this value early before it here. Before it, you can give it like this, and I put a comma here. Comma along with this value, you can provide it. So and you just close it here. It's some meaningful. Of course, 1313 is also movie, but we understood, but other person cannot understand. So that we have to give some meaningful name, so that other person can understand. Okay, this number of them is made in 2020, something like this. Now, how many titles are released in the India level? So now that for that I'm looking length. Okay, for that I'm looking length, and I'm going with df dot country or df for country. So only double equal to India. I will get 923 movies are released in India. 920. A similar way, if you want to give it a naming tool, just give it a naming tool. Name tool better. There are something like errors, just ignore these values. Let's see, you got 923. So that's how it works. So mostly whatever we are currently working on different, Netflix data, but we are looking different context, contextual data. Either missing values, either these values or something we are looking. Okay. So that's why here working in the mean of, we are like taking that values, but in the way of we are looking the data in a values which are, which are having, that values into internally how many values are there, how many counts are there, along with nulls, along with titles, and along with all these values. Okay. So that is how it works. And similar way, we'll just move forward and we'll complete all this. And sometimes, of course, 50% completed, still there. We have to extend our skills, more such questions. And we can also frame our own questions, not only these questions. Similar questions, we will frame it ourselves, and we can extend skills more such like that to indicate, such values. So that's about today's sessions, and we'll meet on next session and we'll discuss next couple of questions along with additional our customized questions as well. Okay, so that's we'll meet on next session. Thank you very much, and thanks for watching our this session. Thanks a lot.